Get recording. Okay, it's Magic Week. It's Magic Week. I'm going to put on a little bit of pink lipstick. I'm going to get going. I'm going to get this party started. So, here's what I wanted to share today is really about doing events. Do not wait for everything to come to you. Whenever I have felt stuck or like things were slow or how do I get things moving, if I would show up and do events, and here's the deal. You have to be okay and comfortable with the fact or the idea that nobody will come. You have to be comfortable with the idea and the fact that potentially maybe only one or two people come. But here's what I want you to know and to hear is that if one or two people come, that could be your entire growth for the next year. That one person could literally be your next rock star. So you show up ready, dressed to impress, really showing up and making it your mission. It's like knowing that it's like this is what I'm here to do. And it doesn't matter. And when I said dressed to impress, Connie, I saw your face. That's hilarious. You don't have to be dressed up. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is dressed with confidence, right? Inner confidence to show up to be like, you are going to win. You're going to win. And so I cannot tell you how many events I had where I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know if anyone's going to come. Who cares? Like you have to get to a place where it's like, not everything is about us. Not everything is about if people come, we make it about us. If they don't come, we make it about us. It genuinely is. How many events can I have? Because eventually someone's going to say yes to coming. So you can do chat parties. You can do Zoom parties. You can have online events. You can have in-person sip and sees. Allie did a flower bar and charcuterie board event yesterday. Connie did a ghouls night out on Friday night. Lisa is running a Thanksgiving one. There's lots and lots of different ones that you can do to get people there. But can I tell you something? Don't just run it and invite your team. Run it and invite potentials to it. Like I was watching Connie literally messaging every single level one, like come and bring your friends, like come and bring your friends. It is key to actually helping your team invite people and to get them there. So many times we sign somebody up and we set them to the side and we hope and we pray that it works out. And then we're like, why is my business not growing? Because you're not doing events, because you're not stepping out and doing something uncomfortable. You need to move that needle forward. I built my entire business to Ruby. Okay. When I first started, I went Ruby in 4 months back when it was actually a lot different than it is now. It was hard. Okay. And we went Ruby, Lisa and I went Ruby together doing events. That's what we did. We didn't have a ton of influence on social media. I think I had 200 friends total. And like, I did not know how to post on social media. So getting out there, can I tell you something? Not everybody is good on social media. You all have those people that you're like, oh no, don't post that. Like, oh my gosh, no. Social media is not for everybody. And if you're not growing on social media, it's okay. Start doing in-person events. Start getting people to show up. Start doing some vendor events, even if you want to. But thinking outside of the box of how to increase your network and grow your business. If you're just signing people up, and hoping that they love their products and they'll share, that's part of it, but it's not everything. If you want to move quickly, you have to do events. You need to be doing something extra. And what I recommend is 2 events a week. And so my business coach encouraged me and challenged me to doing 4 events in the next 6 weeks. Okay. So 4 events in the next 6 weeks with your level one. So that means going to your level one customers and asking them to host an event for you. That looks like going to your sister or your best friend and being like, look, I know whatever, I just want you to host a party for me. Have one and I'll come and I'll share, right? You're going to get more people to join your team this way, but then you're also going to be developing leaders and also duplicating in a really powerful way. and then they post on top of that, right? So they make a post, but that's not the whole focus. We're not just waiting for the post to bring in people. Some people have that influence, like Nicole Shive posted and bam, earned the cruise, went gold, right? Most people are not unicorns like her. Most people, it takes work. It took me work. It took me 17 days to go silver. It took Katie 4, right? It took me 17 days to go silver. It took my upline 5 months to go gold. 5 months, right? And so it took Megan Milokovic 5 months to go silver. So it's not all about social media influence. It's about how much am I willing to get into my business and really start doing events and showing up in that way. That momentum is key. And here's the other thing, it's fun. It's fun. Don't forget, don't lose the fun of what we do with this business. So Lisa, I want you to just add a little of your, you know, pickle bottom jeans, boots in the fur energy right now.
Okay. Like seriously, you guys. Alita and I, when we first started, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard this, but I want you to really hear this. We did events and we have people that have been with us for 9 years because we did those events. We would drive up to Illinois. We would go to the people. The craziest one we did was in a laundromat. It's like that was the only time that worked for this handful of people. And that's what we did. And I'm telling you, it changes everything. Last night, Allie had this event, and I'm telling you, it was so valuable. It was so valuable being able to connect. Looking people in the eye is a game changer. So if you can, connect in person, because this business is about relationships, that is the way to, speed up a relationship, no doubt about it, right? Like them seeing sincerity in your eyes, the care in your eyes, being able to ask questions. And then, of course, Zoom events. If you haven't done a Zoom online event for people that don't live near you, do it. So fun. So fun. It's one of my funnest, my favorite events because it's second best, if they don't live locally to you. So I agree, Alita. It's like if you want momentum, do events. If you want to grow your business, do events. If you want to earn this contest and sweep it, do events.
Yep. Boom, mic drop. Okay, Lisa, 1 second. What would you suggest? Because we're both reading the Everyone Communicates, Not Everyone Connects.
Mm.
What would you say is like maybe a tip that just comes to mind for you of people who maybe feel peopled out and then the thought of an event feels maybe scary or overwhelming or like I'm an introvert or whatever? Like, what would you say to that?
You can't make it about you. I mean, that's the reality of this business. You cannot make it about you. It has to be about the other people. Like we literally have something with the opportunity and the products that changes people's lives. So if you're making it about you, if you're making it about whether you're feeling scared or nervous or whatever, you got to change that mindset. You know what I mean? It's like whatever you have to do to hype yourself up towards focusing on other people, it's like adding value to other people's lives. That's what these events are doing. And
Yeah.
that's what we got to focus on.
So good. Yes. Because that's better than what I was going to say. I was going to say, suck it up and do it anyway. So I knew I
Well,
was, you'll have something better to say than I will.
well,
But
it's a mindset. You got to
yes,
change that mindset.
yes. And listen, I can easily go to this place where I'm like, I have 9 kids, 8 kids still at home. We have 6 basketball games tonight. Okay. Like that, just to put in perspective what we have going on, it's insane. I could be like, I don't have the energy. I don't have the whatever. Can I tell you it's bandwidth? And if you don't learn to increase your bandwidth through spending time alone, and shutting your thoughts off, if you don't learn how to expand that, you're going to have a really hard time building a business. You're going to have a really hard time building a business. You have to learn to increase your bandwidth. So something that I do to increase my bandwidth is I'll say things like, I love this. I can totally handle this. I've got this. I plan my schedule out to where I know it's coming and I'll put in 10 minutes before the call. I need to sit and be quiet for a minute and center my thoughts and get ready and bring my energy. You don't get paid on points. You get paid on the energy you bring to your business. when you're negative, when you're like, no one's doing nothing, I can't find nobody, I'm running out of people to message, I can't, when we're like that, that energy reflects in your points. That energy reflects in your business. That energy reflects in your family, right? So it's how can I get that energy going? How can I increase the energy to be like, okay, maybe I don't have a ton of people in my pipeline. How can I fill my pipeline up? Start spending your energy looking for that versus why you can't. Look for the reasons why you can, not the reasons why you can't. Seriously, it will change everything for you. How can I versus why can't I, right? How can I increase my business and move it forward? So I just want to take a second and let anyone who has anything to share on that or has any questions. If you're like, yeah, I struggle with this mindset of believing I can, or I struggle with the mindset of feeling like I can add in one more thing. I want to coach you. I want to talk to you about it because the reality is that successful people do what unsuccessful people won't. Unsuccessful people stay stuck. Unsuccessful people have a mindset that tells them they can't, and they look for every reason why they're there to validate why they're not moving forward. And so really getting coached around that mindset is everything. It is everything. So does anybody have anything they want to share, say, be coached on?
I I can share something.
Yeah,
Sorry, my face isn't on there because I woke up late today
that's okay.
and I'm not even dressed yet.
That's all right,
But,
Mary.
I had an in-person sip and see, and well, my mom came because she supports me. I had one VIP come and one um potential come, and she's thinking about it. But I was excited that we had a lot of people come down with sickness, so they couldn't come last minute. But that just means we have a whole bunch of people to follow up with. And the month isn't over.
I
So I
love
just
it.
want to encourage my VIPs that weren't able to be there to, go back to the people they invited and, offer samples, find out where we are, put me in chats. I'm trying to So, just because people don't show up doesn't mean you haven't connected. I mean, you have
Yes.
invited all these people. You can still go back to them and, start up a conversation. I'm sorry you weren't able to come, but, you know, blah, blah, blah,
Right. They'll
you know,
send you this or hop on the Zoom call or
yeah.
yes, I love that. I love that. Yep. And invite them again. I love that. Thank you, Mary. That's awesome.
Okay, I have something to say.
Love it.
So this is just really like to me, it's really funny because like I've even like coached on like vision casting for yourself and like not realizing you can have more than you actually think you can, all these things. And then Eric and I went out for our anniversary on Friday and we were talking and we were on the way home and we got on the conversation about like if we knew then what we knew now, like know now. And we were talking, he was saying, like sometimes I feel like I'm always looking for the next thing. Like I'm always like, oh, this is great, but like we could do this. Or so we were talking we were using our house as an example. We built a brand new house in 2020 and like we built what we needed. Like, I mean, and I love my house. There's nothing wrong with my house at all. But at the time it was like, we're trying to be responsible. We're trying to make good decisions. We're not going to do the extra large living room because it's going to cost thousands more. We're going to do, all these things. And now we're like, had we known what we know, we would have done things differently. And it came out of my mouth. And as fast as it came out of my mouth, I was like, well, you know what I think the problem is? I was like, people don't actually know what they're capable of having. So they think their big dream is the big dream, but it's actually not big enough. And he's like, you're 100% right. And I was like, oh my gosh. Right. Like, and it just was like, our big dream then was a big dream then. Now we're like, we could have done this so different. We could have had so much more. We could have it wasn't, an extra $15,000 then was massive. We're like, Now, like, we could have done that. That would have been like, so to me, it was just super eye opening, like through that conversation of like, whatever you think is like the big dream right now. Like, you know, I know Jessica Heffley has talked about it, Grant Cardone, 10x everything, right? Like, you think making $1 million a year is absolutely insane until you do it. And then you're like, well, wait a minute, why didn't I go for 3 million? Why didn't we, right? So I just want to challenge everybody to just kind of have that like aha moment that I did of like, even if it's like, I just want to make $20,000 this year in Plexus, like, but what if you could make $35,000 this year in Plexus? Like, push, don't let the like big dream be capped by sensibility, I guess is what I'm saying.
I love that. That's so good. And that's the thing too, is like learning how to scale your vision. And so many times, like we're not taught to dream, right? Like we're taught to like stay small, stay safe, don't build the extra living room because you're going to have a bigger payment, right? Or you're going to spend your money unwisely, whatever, not thinking, wow, that extra space could really benefit our family. Like I know like you didn't have your third baby when you built your house. So I know same for us, like when we built our house, we built it with the exact amount of rooms that we needed. And then we had another baby and it was like, oh my gosh, everyone's switching around. And so always thinking bigger, but I want to ask you this question based off of what Caitlin said, because I think that is so brilliant, is what does the next level bring you? And I want you to type your answer in the comments because you're on here for a reason. So don't just listen and absorb. I want you to actually write in the comments, every single person on here, write in the comments of this chat, what does the next level of Plexus, what does it bring you? What value does it bring you? Okay, I'm seeing a lot of like freedom, happiness, all of this stuff. So freedom, it allows me more time with my kids, more financial freedom and joy. Yeah. Okay. And the idea is to tap into those things that you're writing down, tap into it. What does financial freedom? What does more time with your kids? What does lessening the financial stress? What does that bring you? Does that actually motivate you? Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Caitlin. Say what you just wrote.
Yeah, and now I said I wrote everybody take that a step farther because Emily Allen. Okay, so spends more time with her kids in addition on her home. Okay, I never ever thought we would buy a piece of ground and pay off a ground to build a house because you have to. I don't have to do that everywhere. You do that in Jersey. Like I never ever thought I would not work in a salon, be able to stay home, have a brand new house. Like those were so far fetched. Literally, my dream starting Plexus was to pay off my student loan and get a computer. Okay. So like even Mary, like more security. I love that for you. But like, what if you blow past to security straight onto abundance? Like don't stop at that first thought. This is where Jess talks about, 3-timing things or 10xing things, like more financial freedom and joy. I think somebody said, right? Like, what does that mean? And then I promise you that is not the end of it. So you have to go farther than that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like asking that question. Okay, what does more time with my kids mean for me? What does more time, like more, like less stress, less whatever? What is the why behind what you're doing? Because that will drive you to the next level. That will take you to the next level. Because here's the reality. You're going to stay at the same level that you feel content at. You're not going to push past it if you're like, okay, like this feels good. This feels great here. I don't really need the money. My husband makes money. I don't really need it. So it's like finding that other purpose and that other value of why you want the next level. And can I tell you something? Sometimes it is selfish. Sometimes it's like, for me, I wanted to be part of the club. I wanted to be diamond more than anything else. I was so content on Sapphire Pay. I was so happy on Sapphire Pay. But the being in the diamond, it was like I wanted to prove it to myself more than I cared about anything else. And sometimes that's worth it. It's like people who climb Mount Everest. I'm like, why would you do that? Like, why do you hike at all? Like, I don't even understand it. But for some people, it's like that's just proving to them that they're capable and that that's their highest potential. So don't be afraid to dig in and be like, I'm doing this for myself too, right? Like, really digging in and being like, this is a challenge. It's keeping me growing. It's keeping me moving in the right direction. But my coach said to me last week, she said, what does the next level bring you? And if you don't know what the next level brings you, you will not fight for it. You will not move mountains for it. You will not manifest it. You will just kind of keep going at the exact same speed you are until you know exactly what the next level brings you. So really digging deep and being like, okay, it pays my mortgage every single month. Like that's important to me. I'm going to fight for that, right? I'm going to fight for that. I'm going to dig deep and be like, that clarity is like, yeah, I'm doing this to pay my mortgage. It feels good to me. It feels good to my family. It feels good for whatever. And then in the meantime, I'm also earning cruises and all the fun stuff as well. But like my focus is I want Plexus to cover my mortgage. I want Plexus to cover my XYZ. And then really buying into it and believing it at a deep level will motivate you to where you're like, okay, I could go to, watch TV, or I could go to all the kids' games, or I could do all the things, or I can work my business. Like there's parts of that you're going to start to realize, okay, I want this more than I want to watch TV. I want this more than I want to just, choose something different, instant gratification. So really dig into that why. Caitlin, did you have something else?
Yeah, so I just wanted to, Lisa, I'm gonna call Lisa out. I'm gonna use her as an example here. So Lisa said, letting go of financial stress. Okay, so I mean, for most of us on here, Emerald Pay is gonna take away most of our financial stress. Lisa's not gonna be happy if she sits at Emerald for the rest of her life.
Mm-hmm.
But I will tell you, because I think I fell into this and I'm like realizing this too, like it is a comfortable, like Alita's saying, like it's a comfortable place. Ain't nobody struggling in my house. There ain't no financial stress, but I'm not happy with it. Right. So it's like letting go of financial stress. Like, yes, that is a goal. That's a stepping stone. But like, you don't want to get just like, okay, everything's paid and everybody got to do what they wanted this month. We're good. Because it's not going to happen. We're not wired that way. We're wired to be like, okay, like, so let's get Sapphire. Let's go to Sapphire. Let's be able to give more at church. Let's do, oh, we could have taken that vacation, but if I would just get to Sapphire, like these are things I say, right? So it's acknowledging that, but then going past that, like, or you will get complacent and comfortable, and that's not a great place to be in. So it's like, that's the starting stone. That's not the end all. Like that's the starting stone for Lisa, letting go of financial stress. What's beyond that?
I accept that challenge, Caitlin.
I think the other thing is, and this is huge, this is actually Sonia Dudley had me do this when I was Sapphire, and I was trying to find that drive to like take me to the next level. And she had me write down, what will you do with the extra money? What will you do with the money that comes in? Because can I tell you something? If you don't feel like you deserve it, it'll go as fast as it comes. You will find a way to spend it on something. You will. So I set up investments. I went and had investment meetings. I opened accounts for all of my kids, and I started certain amount of payments that I could afford at that time with the knowledge that as I made more money, those would increase. So now I have a crap ton of money in investments that I don't even miss the monthly money because I knew exactly where my money was going, right? And so that is super. So whether you're paying off debt or whether you're paying into investments, it's finding where you want to put your money. Not just, I just want more money. Well, what do you want more money for? I want more money for travel. Okay, so set up a travel account now. Do it now. Set up a travel account Start putting $10 a month in there and then be like, when I make over $300 each month in Plexus, the rest of it goes to the travel account because that's what I'm doing this for. So many times we just add the money in and then it just goes as fast as it comes. Work on deserving the money, that you deserve it and that you want to keep it and that you have a plan for it and that you're not just spending whatever comes in, right? So having that plan can be super, super helpful. Like, I'm going to pay my mortgage. Okay, set up an account for your mortgage payments and start taking the Plexus money and putting it in there. That's a huge help too, because that also shows your brain that you're actually moving in that direction. Like, I'm not just saying it out loud and then wandering off. Like, I'm taking action into what I want to do. And then the cool part is, instead of feeling like, wow, I'm making more money and it's just gone as fast as it comes, it really is, wow, look at all the money I'm saving up. Wow, like, look at all this. Like, I can't tell you how many times people call me when they get their 1099 from Plexus and they're like, oh my gosh, I made so much money. I did not know. And it's just gone. Right? So really realizing, what do I want? Okay, I want to be debt free. Then stop taking the money that you're making extra from Plexus and just spending it on whatever. Put it on your debt. Get disciplined around that, because that is also a trigger to, I'm actually thinking about my future. I'm not just trying to make more money to do what with? To do what with? Because you will have the same habits that you have now, whether you're making 20,000 a month, 40,000 a month, or 300 a month. The habit will stay the same. You'll just spend more money. Trust me. I've seen it happen. I've done it. So really, it's about setting yourself up for success of, okay, I want to, one of my whys is to help my kids when they turn 16 have a certain amount of money to put towards a vehicle, because they help out a lot around the house. I'm not paying for their vehicle, but I'm helping them. So instead of just waiting till they all turn 16, when I got a ton of them, a crap ton coming up, they all turn 16 very close together, is I've got investments that I started 4 years ago for them. I don't even think about that money. And now that money is not even going to come from my main monthly paycheck. So it's like, you've got to set yourself up for, what are we doing? So when we pay debt off, so we've got a big goal to be debt free. So we're working on all of those things. It's like, there's an allotment of money that we put towards things, because I'm just here to tell you, if you can buy the Nike shoes, you're going to buy the Nike shoes. And then you're going to be like, where'd all my money go? And if you can Amazon Prime everything, you're going to be Amazon Prime and all the extras. And then you're going to be wondering, where's my money? Right? So it really is. It's like, financial freedom also comes with money self-control. Right? And really looking at, then it motivates you, because you're like, oh my gosh, okay, I've got $20 in my vacation account. Here we go. That motivates me to want to earn the Christmas cash. Like, it always cracks me up with Christmas cash, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm like, used to be, if I would have saw Christmas cash, I'm like, I don't care about Christmas cash. I care about cash now. And for some reason that never would have motivated me. Right? But it's like, I actually pay for Christmas by July. I start saving my money in January for Christmas for the next year. Every month I put a little aside so that my Christmas is completely paid in cash, and I never feel stressed and I never feel worried about it. So I'm getting into a little bit of money talking here, but the truth is, I wish someone would have talked to me about this. I wish I would have learned this when I first started making money. And I wish I would have learned this at Silver, because it's like, you'll make as much money as you make, you will spend it. So really focusing on, do I have a Christmas account for my family? Because here's the reality, you're gonna buy Christmas for your family. You just are, whether you put it on a credit card, whether you do whatever. But if you will set something up where you save $5, $10 a month, and then you increase that every time you earn a little extra with Plexus, you're like, okay, I'm going to put that extra $100 in there. That Christmas cash, I'm actually putting in my Christmas account, my Christmas envelope, because everything else will work itself out. I promise. I promise you that. But what happens is, is we spend the money because we don't feel deserving of it. And it literally is, it's like why people who win the lottery usually either end up committing suicide or they spend all of their money and they end up in debt because they don't feel deserving. So they try to spend it as fast as they can. And so what I'm saying is set yourself up for success. Stop saying you want more money and then you just spend it, right? So looking at, I'm going to start a Christmas savings account and I'm going to earn that Christmas cash. Okay. You can earn an extra $600 this month. How many people would that pay for Christmas for you? If you earn $600 extra this month, that would be really dang close, right? For most of you, because you probably have like 1 or 2 kids, right? $600 would pay for Christmas. Why aren't you hustling your butts to get that extra cash to put in an account and be like, this buys my Christmas? Like, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking. It's like, don't just make the money and then just spend it. Really have an idea of, wow, this is going to pay for my kids' Christmas. I'm going to work so hard to earn this extra money. But we get stuck in a cycle where it's like, well, I need it for this bill or I need it for this bill. It's like, but you were making it work before Plexus. So what is happening, right? So really setting that money aside and making it so that your financial freedom is real. It's not just a cycle, right? It's like, it's a real thing. So really setting aside your money. So like something I would do, I saw private school tuition come up. So I was Emerald. I was actually senior Ruby when I put my kids into private school. Actually, I was Ruby because my husband had passed away. I was Ruby and I had put them in a private school. And I made the decision. I worked my tail off to be able to pay for their tuition. And what I did is as soon as I made money, I put it into an account and I actually would pay their entire year tuition at a time. That was my goal. So I worked super, super hard to be able to get to a place where it's like, I could pay their tuition for the entire year and then never have to worry about it. Right. And so focusing on things that are like, okay, this is what I'm doing to set myself up for success. Because again, you will spend the money. Like if you just bring in more and more and more money and you just feel yourself breaking even all the time, you're overspending. You're overspending. And so it's bringing it back down and saying, okay, this is where I'm going to put this money. This is where I'm going to put this money. Like I can't tell you. So my husband and I have this is going over, but I feel like it's important. So for whatever reason, I'm going to talk about it. We have a weekly budget meeting. And I'm not saying you have to do that, but maybe it's a monthly budget meeting where you're like, okay, I'm going to earn an extra $600 in Plexus cash to pay for Christmas. I'm going to put that in this account. It's not going to be touched. That way we don't have to put it on credit card. Okay, we're going to do this. We want to pay this off and this off. This is where we're focused. We're both focused here in this way, in this energy, in this thought process. This is where I'm doing. Okay, my kid's private school, I'm putting money in an account. We have so many accounts open. You guys will be like, you're crazy. But I have to do it because I'm a visual person. I have to see it going in and adding up. When we were building our house, I actually took like a certain chunk, a percentage of my paycheck, whatever that percentage ended up being, and I put it in an account to pay for the furniture that I would furnish my new house with, because those are the things you don't think about when you're building a house is you got to furnish it. And I was able to not just only buy my furniture, but I had money left over. I'm not that person, just so you guys know. I'm not that person. I'm not a natural budgeter. I'm like, let's go. Let's do this. Let's have a good time. But if you don't know where your money is going, you're going to spend it. You're going to spend it. And then your kid's going to turn 16 and you're going to be like, dang it, we got to find some money. We got to do something. It's like, why not do it now when your kid's 9 or 10 or 11 and start putting money aside for them into something that's actually growing and your money is making money for them or for yourself, right? Money making money, having your money make money. So what I notice is 2 things. One, you'll never miss it. You will never miss it. You'll never miss that money when you put aside, and it will bring you so much security knowing you've got something growing for you over here, right? Or for your kids, however you view that. And then setting up Christmas. I think that's super important. I just think it's super, super important not to let yourself be shocked by Christmas time and trying to afford things. And like, I'd love to buy that, but I just don't have the money. It's like having it set aside, and you can start now. It's not too late by any stretch. Decide, I'm going to earn that extra $600 and that's going to go in an account. And whatever I don't spend, I'm going to open an investment account. And I'm going to put $10 a month. My oldest has like an investment account. He puts $20 a month in. By the time he's 40, he will have $1 million. Compounded interest is a thing. It's a real thing. So it's like knowing that it doesn't, we're not talking putting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of dollars a month aside. I'm not saying that. I'm saying $10, $20, small increment, creating the habit so that when you increase your money, you're not just spending it. You're not just eating at Chick-fil-A more because you have the freedom. You're literally, it's going into investments that are creating the income. And then you start to make more and more money. And then you can do the Chick-fil-A stuff. You can do the eating out more. You can do the trips. You can do the stuff, but it's all paid for and all your bills are paid for because you've created a habit of putting money aside for the things that you actually need. And so if you will create that habit, if I can give any tip on money, because I've never been good with money. Okay. I was never good with money as a kid. And after just my husband and I honestly, just making a lot of money, we had to learn how to manage it. And if I could go back and tell myself anything, I would say, learn the habits now, learn the habits well before that you need them, because that way, when you start bringing the money in, you have good habits. So even if it's $5 a month, it's creating the habit, right? You think about it like we do that with our kids, is you create a habit with them, right? Brush your teeth, make your bed. It's the same thing for us. If you were never taught money management, which I was taught money management, so I have no excuse. My mom was a banker, but it's taking that and making it into something that fits in your lifestyle. Okay, I've talked about this too long. Sorry, I know everyone's probably getting bored. Anyway, I hope that was just a little tidbit of help of really making it count. So when you make the money, you're actually making money and you're not just spending it and you're not just hoping for the best. And a lot of times, people don't understand how to do that. It's like I've had to hire people to teach me how to do this because I didn't know either. So find an investment place. Thrivent is great. It's a faith-based one where you actually get, like, they give me $2,000 a year in charity money where I can actually donate it to my town's football team. It's amazing. All just for having an account with them. I put money in each month, and my kids, just for example, okay, for anybody who wants to know this. So I think I want to say it's $100 a month for this one particular account for this one particular kid. And they put in money themselves, but they started their own because I wanted to see the difference. So I put $100 a month. I've done that account for 2 years. We're already at $4,000. So for 2 years, and that's $100 a month, that's $1,200, that's $2,400 that he would have in a savings account. I've almost doubled that money. So do you guys see what I'm saying? It's like, it's so much smarter to do that. And my younger kids, I only put like $20 a month in. I don't put a lot in because the compound interest increases. And I do like a medium aggressive mutual fund. That's what I do for most of them. The older the child, the more aggressive I go. The younger the child, I just stay medium because it doesn't really matter. The compound interest will take care of itself. So thinking about that, and even if it's not for your kids, so like I have one for me and Rodney too, where we can put money in and it's tax deferred. So that means that you're not having to pay tax on it. And there's also there's tons of different things you can do for really small amounts of money that you won't miss, But the compound interest makes such a big difference. And the younger you are, and the sooner you put into this, the more it does. So I want you to picture in 4 years from now, if you put $100 a month away, you took $100 of your earning per paycheck, and it just went right off the top. And the way I think of it is like, I didn't even earn that money. So if my paycheck was $500 a month less, I wouldn't really notice it. I can work harder. You want more money, Alita? Work harder. But that $500 a month is not yours. It is going over here into investments. And what that's done for me is it's made me realize, wow, I don't even miss it. Number one, I don't even miss it. Like I never think, dang it, I wish I had that money, because I'm like, holy crap, I can pull it up and look at my portfolio investments. I feel fancy. And I'm like, it's doubling my money. Like it's just mind blowing to me that nobody, like, there's just not enough people talking about that. Like you literally, then people get to Christmas and they're stressed out because they've not saved a dime. So it really is, it's like, okay, can I put my money aside? Can I put it in this account, not touch it? I don't have debit cards attached to it. Like I have very little self-control when it comes to spending. So here's what I did. I took my card off Amazon. I canceled my card from subscriptions. I've paid attention to where my money is going, and I'm putting money aside I have accounts that I cannot touch. Christmas, vacation, whatever. So when we go to do those things, it's covered. And it sounds like, I know you're probably like, well, you have a lot of money coming in and you don't get it. I promise you, these are the habits I started long before I had a lot of money. It's the habit, and it's creating the habit. So whether it's $5 or $10 a month, like I tell my kids, I'm like, even if it's $10 a month, that's better than $0 a month. That's better, right? It's like, don't spend all your money and then wonder where your money is. It's like, you've got to create that habit of putting that in there. Like I cannot get over compound interest. It really, really is amazing. Seriously. Like you could tell your 20-year-old kids, invest now, like $10 a month, and they will be a millionaire by the time they're 40. Just extra cash, not including anything that they earn from their jobs. What a gift to give that to your kids, right? But it's like, we've got to learn that, and we've got to model that and create those habits to where your money actually counts for you instead of just making ends meet, if that makes sense. So like, for example, I could go and pull out $5,000 from one of my investments, no problem, and pay off something I need to pay off if we needed the cash flow. Right? So you're not bound and stuck here, but it really does. It's like, put your money somewhere where it's making you money. That $10 a month that you would spend at Chick-fil-A or Starbucks or whatever, it's like, it's actually making you money in this account. Don't just spend your money until it's all gone and then wonder where it is. It's like, that habit will help you so much as you make more money with Plexus. It will actually feel different. It will change the energy of your home when you're just like, okay, we're making good, sound financial decisions and habits. Does anyone have any questions? I know I went on a weird tangent there, but
No. Well, I do have some questions, and I'm going to call you or message you privately and tell you to tell me which places you're investing in. But I'm so glad you said that. And it's so true. I mean, the last couple months I've made more than I've ever made because my points are increasing.
yeah.
And I spend it on stupid shit.
Yeah.
Now I don't go out, and I'm not a shopper. I mean, this t-shirt was from my granddaddy. He died 4 years ago. Okay. Clean this out. I don't go, I'm not a shopper, I don't buy things for myself, but in between practices and running and stuff like that, instead of just saying, oh, we don't need that, or if Ariel's like, Mom, I'm hungry, and I'll go into the gas station and get her a beef stick and a bag of potato chips. I mean, just little things like that. But if you're doing that 2 or 3 times a week, you look back and you think, where in San Fire did that money go? Because I don't have nothing to show for it. Nothing. And I do.
And I think that's a good point too, Connie. I think that's a really good point too, because we were in the same boat, right? Where we're just like getting the here and there snacks or whatever like that. But
Yeah.
It was really what I've learned to say to the kids is instead of like, I don't want to spend my money on that or whatever, I've literally said, I'm not choosing to spend my money here. I'm choosing to put my money where it's going to work for me, because what I'm doing is I'm telling them we have lots of money. Money is never an issue, right? Like, because what I firmly believe in my heart is you can go out and make as much money as you want to. You really can. You can hustle and make as much money as you want to. It's the lifestyle that you choose, right? But what I want to teach them is that the bag of potato chips and the thing from the gas station, or we could put that same $7 we would have spent there into an account, and that will equal thousands of dollars in not very long at all. Like, I think that's such a good point, because it's like we have nothing to show for it. And yet in the moment, it feels like the right thing to do. It's an instant gratification of, oh, I'm getting you something. Oh, this is like me helping, or me doing the right parent thing, instead of being like, wait till you get home and have an apple or make your ramen noodles when you get home, or whatever it is. Or have a lean protein shake when you get home. Better yet, like that's what I tell my kids too. I've started really being like, you will consume these products because they're good for you. And this is what we have. Like, this makes more sense. Investing in your future versus just spending it. And yeah, that was a really good point. Okay, so what questions? I'm so happy to talk about this, because I've really learned a lot through trial and error of spending a lot of money and a lot of wondering where my money is going. And can I tell you that any cycle that you're in with your finances is habit. And that was really hard for me to address, because I was like, well, we have so many kids. Like, it's not habit. It's like, yeah, it is habit. It's habit. Like, anything I'm spending money on outside of straight up groceries is habit, right? It's a choice of what I'm spending my money on, right? Whether I stop at Starbucks for something, or whether I stop and get all my kids something, or I stop at Taco Bell, or I stop here. It's like that. Those are all choices to spend my money. And so truly looking at it and really having compassion, not looking at myself and being like, you suck, you're horrible with money, but like really looking. And so when Rodney and I decided to really, really dig into this, there were some, like, we had to be very gentle, especially him with me, because I'm more of the spender of the two of us. And it was like, okay, so your Amazon card. And I'm like, what up with it? What's your problem? Why you want to talk about my Amazon card, sucker? And it was like really learning, okay, that's habit forming, right? It's habit forming when it's so easy to click yes. Subscriptions are very dangerous for me because I forget. I'm like, I don't even remember. Lisa was telling me one time, she was like, I signed up for something like a year ago and forgot I was even paying for it this whole time. I'm like, that's me, right? And so really, it's about taking responsibility for our money. And I realized I did this the last 3 Christmases in a row. I prepaid for Christmas. And can I tell you the difference in feeling from when I would Christmas shop before to now? Night and day. I had a budget. I knew how much money I had. When I would get deals, it was so exciting. But it was like, I didn't feel like I had to have the deal to make Christmas happen, or I didn't feel like I had to have this stress of like, how am I going to what am I going to get them? It was so freeing. When we talk about financial freedom, I'm like, that was freedom. It's not how much money I was making as much as it was, I'm learning how to habitually save and create systems for myself that are like, literally, we have a Christmas account and we crack up because we'll go through our budget and be like, okay, our Christmas account's at this. And we just, it's just normal now, right? It's not even a weird thing. We're just like, okay, that's awesome. Like, our Christmas account is so full, we don't need to keep putting money in there. Like, we're already saving for next year, right? And it's like, this is incredible. Like, I don't even know, I never would have had that money before. I promise you, it doesn't matter how much income you bring in. It's all about what habits you've created for yourself. And when that money is gone, so when I know that money is going in my Christmas account, or it's going in vacation account, or it's going into our taxes account, or it's going into our property tax account, or it's going into our pay off debt account, wherever it's going, right? It's got a spot and it's got a place, and we feel like we've earned it, and we feel like we deserve it. And we feel like, okay, and then we're giving over here out of abundance. And so even our giving, nothing is spontaneous. Nothing. I mean, with exception of a few things, most of it is pre-planned. We give scholarship to the school. We give a big donation to football. We give a big donation to basketball. We give in our community. That's where we give to a widows group. We give all of these things. So this is what I'm talking about, is if you cannot be habitual and good with your money now, you will not be good and habitual with your money later. It doesn't matter how much money you make. I'm here to attest to it and tell you. I know a lot of diamonds who make a shit ton of money that live broke.